Hey everybody, it's Linda with Stamping School. I'm going to be playing with some apples today, and there's a new promotion coming out from Stampin' Up! On September 1st, 2022. Today is August 20th, 2022, and I was able to get these a little early as a demonstrator, and I picked up a few of them. So there are going to be 6 bundles available September 1st. The stamps are already available, but if you have them, they will have dies that coordinate with the stamp sets for a limited time only while supplies last. It's just sort of an extra little fun thing. Celebration will be over by the end of August, which is our freebie time. So they wanted to bring out something fun and new for us to play with. So I know you can't see this flyer. It's probably way too small. I will post the link below. But one of the bundles is going to be the apple blossoms. So in our mini catalog, the July through December, in the mini catalog, page 54, there's an apple harvest stamp set. And for the limited time, there'll be these extra dies. I think there's 25 dies that we can purchase to go along with that. And they're really nice. So all the other ones I will post below. The 2 that I got the Playful Piggy dies because look at this little wagon. And if you have the Piggy set from last year or the year before, this is a really great companion set to go with that. And of course, the wagon and all the fun stuff in there is just too cute. So next week, I'll be back with the piggies and do a project with that. But today, it's all about apples. So this is the Apple Harvest stamp set. Kind of good for fall or all around. And today, I'm going to do a teacher gift card because somebody requested one of those. But let me show you the dies that are coming on for while supplies last. And you have to buy them. They're not free. I know everybody's thinking free right now because Celebration's been going on for 2 months, but these are just an extra add-on that you can buy. And there's a really nice label in there. It's stitched. Can you see the stitching? There you go. See the stitching right here? It will cut out all of the stamps here. This one here on the solid apple, the single apple, a flower. It's got some sentiments in there. And it'll also cut out this big stamp right here, which I made it into peaches, because really you could go peaches, you could go pomegranates, oranges, green apples, red apples. And these blossoms are really pretty. You get a really nice branch right here, which I cut out in the espresso, and you get 4 of these apple blossoms. So I started playing around with what you could do with those. These are more, I kind of looked at Google and what apple blossoms look like. These kind of came out, I layered them. They kind of look like dogwoods or something. They're kind of pretty. And then these little middle pieces, which kind of help stand up and make the apple blossom little stamens in there. And there's also this really cool scallop border that when you cut it looks like this, but I thought this is what it was going to look like, and you can make it any size, but really it's this very delicate little scallop we'll cut out from that. So I don't know if you can see, I was totally surprised when I realized that it did this really sweet scallop. So I'm going to show you 3 projects today, and the first one I'm going to make, and the last 2 I'll show you at the end. Well, this is the card that I made. It could be thank you, birthday, but I wanted it to be a gift card for a teacher. It has like a little pull-out pocket here. It kind of hides in here, and on the inside, that. Now, I used a different set of greetings because I really liked what this said. This is Inspired Thoughts. It's in the annual catalog. It's got Christmas and Get Well and Sympathy. It's a great set. It carried over from last year. You might even have it. But I like that you make a difference every day. It's your time to be remembered, to feel appreciated, and to know you're celebrated, which I thought was great for a teacher. If you stick around toward the end of the video, I will show you the other 2 projects that I made using the apples. But let's get started on this one. I've got Early Espresso card base. And here is a piece of designer paper. This is a really big pack of 12 by 12 paper. There's 48 sheets. I think it's called Gingham Cottage. It's in the mini catalog. And I just like the plaid. I thought it was nice. And to do the gift card holder, all you have to do is fold this little corner in halfway like that and glue it down. Now you also can cut it off if you don't want to waste it, but I really like how smooth it is. And sometimes if you don't put a little something on here, it's too wimpy, you know? So this just It's soft. They're not going to get a paper cut when they try to get the card out. And it looks like a nice pocket. That piece of paper was cut down 4 to 5 1/4, just like a regular layer. Or you could go all the way, but I like 4 inches because the paper is 12 by 12, so you get more out of it that way. And we're going to put a piece of little tape around here just to make sure that it holds really well. This is that tear tape. It's like sticky strip, but it just tears off, and then you've got to pick off the liner, but it's super strong. There's your pocket. Now this can be, you can do any color, anything. This has been around forever. This is nothing new, obviously, but I love a gift card holder, especially when it's on the front of the card. Then you've got some room to write on the inside. Now I stamped this first in espresso. Wasn't sure what I was doing yet for this one, so I had already cut this apple out, but you really don't have to do that. I stamped it directly on this little piece of white that will go on here. Espresso can take about 3 to 5 minutes to dry sometimes if you use really good paper. So I stamped it. I'm just gonna let that dry and we can work on the inside. Now you could just do the blue, but I really like the white behind it. I just think I like the staggering of it. It brightens it up. But if you don't want to put the white behind it, you could just put your gift card on here, see, and do it this way. If you want to save that extra step, that looks fine too, like that. So you decide whichever way. They both look nice, but I just, for some reason, I like the white back there. Now, this card here has a layer of white behind it, which you don't have to do. I'm gonna not do it on this one, mainly because I forgot, and I forgot to glue this down first and put this on here, but just to show you that you don't have to do it. It just looks a little different. See, it's gonna look like this instead, which isn't bad. It's fine. You decide, you know, which one you like better. Now it's going to be this way, since I forgot to glue it down. Now, this is where my gift card's going, right here. I'm gonna just glue this down. You have some options here. If you want to just attach your gift card with a glue dot and put a message under it, you can do that. That's what I did here. I actually just put a little glue dot there and just stuck it in there. But that's gonna be your gift card pocket right there to attach on here. This just happens to be Fresh Market, which I thought went really well with the apples. All right, now this one. Now, if you want to do a little bit of splattering, you can do it. If you've already stamped this, though, you got to be careful adding water to this because the espresso will run. If you want to splatter with your alcohol markers, a lot of people are doing it these days. It makes me a little nervous because I don't want to mess up my brush tip. But you can just give it a quick little flick, and believe it or not, because they're alcohol, it doesn't run anything. I've been doing it. I don't think I would do it at a class with a lot of people, but if you're careful, let me try to do it. The bullet tip does not really work. No, you got to use the brush tip. And you're just flicking it from the cap, just like that. And just very, very lightly, because I said you don't want to mess these up, but it does work great. This is just a nice little layer of white, and we're going to color. Now for the coloring, on this one, I put a little piece of designer paper down here just to ground it. On this one, I brought in the gray just to sort of add a little bit of shadow here so it's grounded. I'm going to do the parakeet. You can do granny apple green, any green that you want. And obviously, this can be a green apple. It can be a red apple. I'm doing red. So I'm starting with a little bit of parakeet. Dark and light. I really like the dark real red and the light cherry cobbler. I love those two together. But red will be fine. What I would suggest though is making sure that you leave just a little bit of room. Don't color it in exactly. Leave a little bit of white here and there, and then we'll blend it. So this is the light one, the light red. And you know, as far as teacher gifts go, I was just thinking back when I was in, I think 4th or 5th grade, I made some homemade taffy to give to my teacher. And she liked it so much that she actually pulled a filling out of her teeth after she was trying to eat it and had to go to the dentist. I felt so bad, but it was really good taffy. See that little bit of light left in there? So just leave a little glimmer in there. Little brown stem. This is actually one of those, the neutral tones, the skin tones they have. This is the SU200, which is really espresso. I mean, it really comes to a nice dark espresso color. Now, see how it just looks kind of, you see the two different tones of red? That's the light cherry cobbler and the dark red. And you can take the gray and kind of even go over a little bit of this edging right here. And there it is. So that gets glued here. Now, if you have a gift card on here, you just want to, here, let me show you on this one. You just want to make sure it's covered up. So this is here, right? And this will get glued here. I typically like that little corner to be showing. And actually, I'm making sure my glue is here and not on the back of this because I typically mess up. There it is, right there. So it just gives a nice little layer. It doesn't look bad with just the brown. I kind of like it. I say you could go either way, right? What do you think? You could probably save a layer and just do it that way. Now for the inside, and then I did add a few little sequins. On the inside, a little layer of the white cardstock. I stamped one of the stamps here on the inside, colored it up. I used a very, very light peach, light papaya right here for the blossoms with a little bit of yellow in the middle. And that's it for that one. Okay, let me show you the other ones. This one is a Get Well. Now, this paper happens to be from the In Colors. This is the Sweet Sorbet red, which is kind of a more of a watermelon red, I suppose. So I did a sorbet card and then a stitch circle. This is colored in with sorbet, believe it or not, and the parakeet. And just a very simple, easy layout for like a Get Well card. Now this one was a little trickier, mainly because this paper back here is garden green and we don't have garden green blends. I don't understand why we don't, but we don't. So what I did is I stamped it in StazOn, and then I opened, squeeze from the bottom of your ink pads and grab them your clear blender pens. That kind of has this water glycerin formula in it. And then you can just color in the lines. It took a little bit longer than the blends do, but it works great. And then you get the exact color of garden green. And then when you're ready to clean this off, it'll stain the tip, but it goes clear so you can pick up another color. These come in a pack of 2 or 3 in the annual catalog. Or you can use a little wet paintbrush. But I did that, and I wanted to make these peaches. And this is one of those sentiments in the stamp set. Isn't that pretty? I love that font. And so I used dark papaya first, and then I added just a little bit of light coral, which, by the way, I mean, that really kind of brings in that red on a peach, or that, I don't know what color that is. And that's what I did for that, for the colors. This paper is actually from the candy cane paper in the mini catalog. But if you turn it over, look at how great these are. Look at this. We got all these really great reds and greens. And this paper right here, and I thought they were really fun to use with the apple. Really great. So make sure you flip all your papers over because there's always some sort of subtle pattern on the back of all the papers, and just a little extra leaf right there. Okay, so apple dies are coming September 1st. I'll be back next week with some piggy cards, and that's it. Go make one. We'll see you next time. See it, learn it, stamp it.